Good morning, everybody. My name's Blair Whiting.
That's going in the bloopers. Today we're here in the shed and we're going to be installing a brand new Raymarine sounder. Now I've had a Dragonfly for around, I think, what is it, 5 years? And I got that second hand. The pins on the back of it have always been pretty manky, honestly. And it's now time to put a new one on. This time I've gone with another Raymarine sounder, the Element series. It's a pretty powerful model for a kayak. It's built for boats, but I'm going to get a heap of use out of it on the kayak. So this is the Raymarine Element series. This is the 7-inch model. It's also got the Hypervision transducer with it. It is a monstrous transducer that's going to pick up fish like nothing I've ever used before. This is the huge transducer. It doesn't fit on the bottom of the kayak, so we're going to have to do a bit of thinking about how we're going to mount this. My Dragonfly has a similar size transducer for the length, but not the thickness. I concluded that this transducer actually does beam good through the hull. I'm expecting this side scan to be not quite as good performance as it would be static in the water, but I think this is going to be the best option we have. My previous sounder, the Dragonfly, already had a few mods on the kayak waiting to go. So we've got already a bracket built in the front pod here, waiting for a battery to go in. That's where the lead acid one went, and it's where the FPV one's going to go. So for this big bracket, we've got a bigger piece of wood underneath to stabilize it. The plastic tends to warp a bit when you have a big heavy thing on it. Around the kayak we have loads of strengthening things so we don't get too much flex in the plastic.
You don't have to be a rocket scientist to do basic wiring. We've got our 12 volt 17.5 amp hour battery, which is going to come out of the out feed. We've got a plug that screws into here. So coming through here, this is power into a 3 amp fuse. So we've got a positive switch, out of the switch, back into our red wire and off into the end of the sounder. We've got an extra wire here, which is a ground wire. So if you're on an aluminium boat or a steel boat, you'd need to ground it to the chassis. On a kayak, we haven't got much choice. We've only got plastic. If we had a steel switchboard, we would probably ground that to the switchboard. But so basically we've got our black wire coming out, black to earth, and back off to the back of the sounder. So that's our basic wiring. The crimps we're using, these ones are heat shrink crimps, quite a common thing these days. This is the hatch of the kayak, and this is a commercial electrical fitting, or they're called electrical grommets. So I've cut the hole through here.
We had a few issues with that.
Yeah, which way does it go? I'm going the wrong way.
Which way does it go?
Yeah, which way does it go? So it's got a nut on it. It's going to go through here. The backing nut on the back. This is the little rubber grommet and the nut on top. And probably with a little bit of silicone and it'll seal it. Otherwise you've got to come through here with silicone and all sorts of bits and pieces. So this is overkill. This is commercial grade, used in houses or commercial applications. But it's going to be good because it's a large one. It's a bit of a trick, but I'm going to get all 3 wires through this, and that'll be our next step. So next time you see me, we will have all the wires through, and then I'll show you how to crimp the wiring set, and we'll do the heat shrinking. Out of there. And that one, yeah, we've got to get. Right, we're cooking. We got it. Right, wire right. Right. Another crimp. It's already crimped on the other end.
You've already crimped it.
Black to black. Our earth.
Hand out of the way.
You got to make sure the wire stays in there when you're crimping it. And righto, here's our final one, and we've got a circuit. And then we'll sit down and recheck it.
We can almost hook up a sound system as well.
Hold that wire in. So it pays to hold, if someone's helping you, hold the wire in so it doesn't come out. Get in there. Oh, we jam now. Right, the only thing we can do right now is
Put it in, test it.
put it in, test it. Screw that in.
Screen. Right, is it on? Yep, that's on now.
So that's on. So we're going to mark this. Where's our white pen? Put a plus on it instead of writing on.
Put on.
On top, if you can get it. There you go. That'll do. Let it dry.
Yep.
Righto, there's our wiring. So we've gone through, I think it's going to be tidier in the long run because this is quite a bigger transducer, a bigger cable. So we've got 3 cables. We've actually got a 3rd cable here. What does that go to, Blair?
That goes to a radar, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, extra technology that we haven't got.
I'm not going to have a radar in my kayak.
So we've poked that through there to keep it out of the weather, and it'll be down inside the hatch. So the battery, all of this will end up down inside the kayak with a strap over the battery to hold it secure, and we'll keep whatever I'm going to do with it. I'll keep this out of the moisture somehow.
I reckon we could put it in a little box.
Yeah.
Next to it, because there's enough room.
Yeah. Well, we could have it in a box.
We'll have, yeah. We've got our new sounder on now, and we're doing a bit of testing inside the hull. It's an enormous transducer, but we're actually getting a reading straight down on the down vision and also on the sonar, which is kind of expected. The last sounder can do that. So the only thing to really check is the side scan and the real vision, which I don't think will work quite as well. But the sonar is reading perfectly. Thankfully it's like my dragonfly pretty much. Let's go for a paddle around the harbour and see what we can log on the sonar.